Hi there, good morning everybody. It's Liz Davis. I am a nutritionist and gut health specialist. I help busy women fix their horrible digestive symptoms like bloating, IBS, and all those other symptoms that get in the way of living life properly. And I treat them with gut testing, natural methods, supplements, etc., to bring you back into balance and functioning properly again. So today I was going to talk to you about stomach ulcers because they are a real problem and they do account for a lot of the reasons why people suffer with digestive complaints. For a long time, they were considered to be, just a psychosomatical problem. It was mainly stress linked, and that is true to a certain extent, but it's not the whole picture. There are other issues going on there as well that have been discovered, although they were first identified in people who did lead very highly stressed lifestyles. So, and then there was this association with smoking, etc., as well, and caffeine and stress and all the rest of it. But then they discovered a bacteria called Helicobacter pylori, which was largely implicated in stomach ulcers as well. So that was a big turnaround. So then they could start to treat it with antibiotics, which was useful. Fantastic. The trouble is with antibiotic treatment is it will get rid of the symptoms to start with, but then they gradually tend to come back again, which isn't ideal. So really it's a case of getting to the root cause of the problem for you, because it may not necessarily be the same root cause for everybody, and then fixing from the ground up. So what symptoms then? How do you know you have stomach ulcers? Well, telltale sign, you'll get this burning sensation, probably from the navel up to the breastbone, a lot of bloating, possibly blood coming out when you're vomiting or going to the loo, that kind of thing, incredible bloating and possible loss of appetite, etc. Nasty, debilitating symptoms that will get in the way of day-to-day activities. So needless to say, I mean, if you do have any of these symptoms, critical that you do get them checked out by your GP first to make sure it is ulcers that are causing it. If it isn't, you need to find out what it is, and then start to get that nailed. As I say, if you go to the GP, they will probably prescribe PPIs, proton pump inhibitors, or ulcer medications or antibiotics, and these will nail it for a while. But as I say, they will keep coming back if you don't nail the underlying reasons. Okay, so what are the triggers then? I'll just give you a few triggers that you might want to try avoiding so you don't get symptoms. So the first one would be overeating. People who have ulcers tend to eat 2 big meals a day, which is quite stressful for the digestive system. So if this is you, maybe try breaking it down into, if not 3 or more smaller meals a day. Some people function better having 5 very small meals each day. It's a lot less stressful for the gut, and that seems like a lot of eating, but then you would only be eating a very tiny amount at a time. So maybe try that. 3 meals would be good for some people, but if you do need to eat less, then just eat less at a time. Okay, next one, hot spicy foods might be a trigger for you. Conversely, they can also be quite healing for some people, so it really depends on the individual. So if you find hot spicy food are a trigger for you, avoid them. Otherwise, not too much to worry about there. The main one I'll come to next is processed food. Processed food's got all sorts of things that can be very aggravating in them. So try and avoid processed foods as far as you can. And they've got lots of salt, lots of sugar, loads of additives, flavors, you name it, anything in there that's going to be very aggravating for your gut. That leads into the next one, which is sugar. So processed foods are often packed with sugar. So avoid them for that reason, and also added sugar. So if you're adding sugar into your tea, coffee, lots of baked goods, that kind of thing is going to be very aggravating. It's very inflammatory, so you need to avoid anything inflammatory. The next one would be anti-inflammatory medications. So if you're on anything like ibuprofen, incredibly aggravating to the digestive system in general, and always best avoiding it if you can. Obviously you can't if you're in a lot of pain, but if you're not particularly and you can avoid ibuprofen, then absolutely do that. And the next big one is caffeine and alcohol. Always comes up, but these are very, very aggravating substances for your digestive system. So try and avoid them as far as you can. There also seems to be a massive stress link with this still. So if you can get your stress under control, so much the better. So whatever floats your boat. Doesn't have to be meditation, doesn't have to be anything like that. So if you like meditation, cool, go for it. Anything like outside exercise, swimming, all the exercises are great stress busters. I've got lots of videos about stress, so have a look back through my videos and find I've got some breathing techniques and things like that you can use. Obviously, if there's massive stress going on there that you need to get to the bottom of, then, you know, some kind of psychotherapy or other therapy would probably be very useful for you. Okay, so once you've done all that, there's a few actions you can take. The best food all round for your gut is bone broth. It's not as revolting as it sounds, but it's very, very soothing for your gut. You don't need to eat it plain. You can boil up your own bones and make your own bone broth, or you can buy it in so many different health food shops now. It's very readily available. So if you don't fancy drinking it straight, then use it to make soups or gravies or whatever you like. It's a very versatile ingredient, but very, very soothing for your gut. Magic on the gut. The next one would be aloe vera juice. Again, fabulous for digestion and all things digestion related, and lots of steamed vegetables. So you may not be great at tolerating a lot of raw veg if you've got stomach ulcers going on, but lightly steamed veg would be fantastic for you as much as you can. And the next one, cabbage juice. Doesn't sound so great, but it's fabulous for your digestive system. If you can't cope with plain cabbage juice, then try having it with mixing it with some apples or carrots. Will make it very, very palatable and a nice drink to have. And again, if you want to, you can mix that up in some soup as well. Maybe mix some cabbage juice, bone broth and vegetables, and you'll have a nice tasty soup to go with. There's some good supplements as well. There's some supplements and probiotics. I won't mention them on here because I would need to see you first just to make sure you aren't on any medications or anything which would clash with those. Also, the probiotics, you need the right probiotic. So if you want any more information on that, then do get in touch with me. I shall pop a link in the comments to my diary. But I'll just finish on a really easy one, a great one which is soothing for not only your gut but absolutely everything, would help with the stress side of things as well if that's what's affecting you, is chamomile tea. I always keep a box of chamomile tea in the cupboard because it's just handy for nailing everything, but it's fantastic for your gut. It's very, very soothing, very relaxing, and a couple of cups of that will probably really help you. Okay, so there's a few hints and tips there. Quite a lot of ground I've just covered, but try one or two of those things and see if any of those help you, and let me know how you get on. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye.